competition agencies need to concern ourselves with sustainability and what needs to be done?
My thinking is that the question that you should maybe ask ourselves for us to understand better sustainability across all sectors of national economy is, are we consuming too much? And that consumption might be directly linked to our natural resource base. So I think if we are able to break down those components of natural resources and find sustainability as a key component, then the question is sustainability as a concept and therefore its application to production and consumption processes might be limiting if we don't care about our environment.
Now, when it comes to the matter of the question that is before us, of course, we are talking about the SDG number 12 on sustainability. Then within the energy sector, we have the goal number 9, the UN goal number 9, SDG number 7 on sustainable energy. So there are those two goals that are very critical in the energy sector. And basically for us, the way we are doing it, when it comes to, for example, looking at production, the energy production side, you have to ensure there is competition, first of all. The way you bring in investment in the country, you have to subject them to competition. Of course, the government has had initiatives on like what we call the feed-in tariffs policy, but again, they have to be done in a way that the investments that are going to be coming in to generate that energy, they are subjected to value for money in every investment that is being done. We have a program we call the energy labeling program, where even production of maybe like a fridge and other electric equipments, we have to rate them in terms of stars to give consumers enough information on what kind of gadgets they are bringing in. And all these initiatives as a regulator, we bring them to ensure that there is fairness in the way this good is going to be supplied, and again also trying to ensure that there's sustainable consumption again of the same products.
Competition allows effective or fair play in the market, and therefore the way these natural resources are used is important in terms of who gets what share and what market shares are used for which production, and therefore the important component that natural resources play and competition play are interactive in that sense, in my view. There should be free entry in production and therefore availability of more products to consumers. And then the question is, are they sustainable? Is production and consumption of resources sustainable in the way what we like to see it being fair and also in its allocation?
We have had a lot about electrical mobility. In fact, I think during the climate summit, there was some launch or other. So those involve the use of electricity. And we, as consumers, have been complaining that the electricity prices are high. How then do we implement Helena's proposal with the current electricity prices? What is EPRA or Kenya doing about that?
So what we have done in order to help grow this sector, we have a special tariff for electric mobility. And in this tariff, we have what we call the peak tariff and also the off-peak tariff. Meaning that with electric mobility, we have given a special tariff, which is slightly just above the marginal cost of supplying electricity, because you don't want to give a tariff that you are not able to recover the marginal cost of the investments that have been done. We have a lot of renewable energy resources, geothermal, wind and solar, which are renewable in nature, and introduce a tariff that can also charge these vehicles at night. And then we have what we call the two-wheelers and three-wheelers. We have service providers that are doing what we call swapping, battery swapping. So they charge the batteries, and whenever you want to come and pick a battery for a motorcycle is able to hold like 5 kilowatt hours. It's just 5 units of electricity. So you can charge 70% of your battery or a vehicle at night at 50% of the 16 shillings that we have given them. We have given them a tariff of 16 shillings, but at night they can charge that battery or that vehicle with 8 shillings.
question is directed to the Acting Director General, Dr. John Mutua. Have you developed any guidelines at EPRA in relation to disposal of, let's say, e-buses, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, because you find that they contain lithium batteries? Where I work, we do mostly work related to consumer protection. So do those guidelines look into issues protecting consumers and the environment in regard to sustainable development goals?
So we have started by having guidelines as a quick approach to address the environment of electric mobility. And then if you have been also observant, the Ministry of Roads and Transport, they have actually established a task force for electric mobility strategy and policy that the ministry is guiding on that. So, but basically what we are doing is that with KEBS and NEMA, after we have the strategy by the Ministry of Roads and Transport, we will now, as a regulator, develop these guidelines into regulations, and we will further now strengthen the issue of disposal. But the moment we are using KEBS and we are using NEMA, already the guidelines are there on how to dispose this waste. So there is no danger at all and no threat from environmental issues.
So I think there is a balance between how do we achieve consumer welfare without undermining competition. And I think the bigger picture is what the government does in terms of the reform program. That government has a bigger agenda in terms of reforms and competition, even industrial policy for that matter. So I do see there's a clear interactions between business practices and consumer welfare, and also touching on the issue of sustainability. So I think the thing is to strike a balance between those issues, but however, I do see the link between those components.